welcome to this healing hangout. This specific hangout will address the topic of meeting unkind persons and people who doesn't treat us well. And we all need that. We all have scars, and sometimes we are the one. Even though it's unintentionally, we may hurt others. So, what this healing hangout is supposed to do, the purpose of this is to find the skill we need for this particular situation. So I thought about lightening the lamp here, but I think it's more cozy like this, don't you think? I'll just take this a little bit closer here. And also, I want to send a little bit of thoughts to everyone out there dealing with storms and winds. And this is a little thought and a little connection with the winds. Trying to make them calm down. Everything have ripple effects in the universe, and I really do think that we can speak with elements and have them calm down. And maybe we need to speak with the winds, the sounds or voices of the wind, as well as we may need to learn the language of the dog to speak with the dog or so. So, let's see now. I just want you to relax, and together we will find the skill you need for today to meet the obstacles, whatever it is in your case, but situations when people may have been rude. It can be anywhere, it can be here on the net or whatever those situations are. And I want you to imagine exactly how you would like it to be. Exactly. Not in a vague way, but exactly in a concrete way. How you would want the contacts to be, the relationships and situations. Just paint a picture in your mind of that. And then let it sink in and feel it and see it in front of you, as if this is the reality right now. describe what you do. What do you do differently in this situation? What are the behaviors of yours that are different now when you meet different responses? How would you act differently then? You don't need to be strained or tense now, just relax. You don't need to take any decisions in any direction. All you need to do is relax. And even if you don't want to follow my guidance here, just don't then. Just relax. You are totally free to do as you please. As you please. It pleases you. Yeah. Oh, and I also want you to describe not only this for yourself, not only what is different in this situation, but how the other ones also behave. Describe for yourself how they behave. Put it into words. Their behaviors when this bad behavior is not there, when all you meet are the behaviors you want to meet, you wish were there. Describe them. What would they be? How would they act then? How would people act around you? And always on these healing hangouts, nothing needs to be possible even in reality. All you need to do is use your imagination. That is a great power we can use to heal. So, I also want you to imagine in time. You can set any time you want, but for example 2 months from now or a week from now or whatever you want. But I want you to set a time when you will check if this has changed in the way you like it to. And I want you to put a little note that date so that you remember. And I want you to again think it over. Think about things that you really can measure, that are concrete. However you describe it to yourself is totally fine. Just that it is not too vague, so that you really can see if you have the results you want or not. So, just use your fantasy and let yourself dream this vision of how you most would prefer it to be. How others would respond to you, how they would react and how they would support you or whatever you would like. clear as you can. Put it into words or images that you can remember. And now I want you to think about this. Imagine the situation that it is already there, and then I want you to think about how this would change things for the better for you. What would you win if this would happen? If it would be like this? I want you to think also about every area in your life. How they would be affected by this change. And also I want you to think about this. I'm here to help you reach your goals, to where you want to be, how you want to live. And think about how I best can help you. How can I best help you to reach your goals, reach where you want to reach, and to use your resources in the best of ways. And also I want you to think about all the other support that is around you, and there is always both people in this realm and spirits around us that want to help us. I also want you to think about those people and think about how they best can help you in this situation, so that it would change to the better. And I want you to think about everyone that supports you. And I want you, to the coming weeks or time to come, until you will check on this goal again, I want you to take the initiative to connect each and every one of those you thought about that are supportive for you, to strengthen you and to remember that you really are not alone. You have helpers and support everywhere. And everyone can be a piece of the puzzle to help you on your path to where you want to go. And don't lean just on one person or just on one method. Be open. You can be helped and guided by so many things, and it's always there if you're open to see it and receive it. And now I want you to think about, in this situation, I know it has been hard and rough for you lately to meet these negative reactions and so on. And I want you to think about this question. What is most important to focus on? And I want to ask you again, how it needs to be. What do you need to feel that others listen to you? Think about that. That they really hear you. What would you need? And also I come to think about the fact that many of those who throw around maybe very nasty comments and so on, they maybe think that is the only way that anyone ever would listen or react to them. But now focus on yourself again. You are the most important person in your life. And now I want to ask you, what do you think is needed for this change to come about? For these things not to occur? Can you see any way to resolve either the situation itself or find a way not to be affected in a bad way by others' behaviors? The first one you need to be compassionate with always is yourself. So if you feel hurt, if you feel that people step on you, you really need to be compassionate with yourself and let go of thoughts about why they do what they do and anything concerning them. Just go back to your core, go back to yourself and do what you need. And listen to yourself. And listen in that way that you need to be listened to. When you listen deeply to yourself, the pain that you feel when others don't hear you or don't see you or don't listen, that pain will go away. And try just to listen, not to think. Let go of all thoughts. Just let them glide away. And don't focus on your thoughts at all. You have a deeper wisdom, a deeper knowledge that can guide you. Just let go of that and listen to yourself. And be compassionate with yourself and your own reactions and your own feelings and also your thoughts and actions, behaviors. And know that I'm always here to support you. And there are many, many who wants to support you. So listen to yourself, to what you hear, and be open. Whatever the reason is that people act in what we perceive as a strange way. For them, there is some kind of logic in it that may be hard to find or understand, even for themselves. And we don't need to be there. We don't need to understand that. Why? We may be just would benefit from understanding that there is some sort of logic to it. Whatever that kind of logic is. That they act in these kinds of strange ways. In their minds, they have a good reason to do what they do, say what they say. And sometimes that very good reason is that no one ever saw them or ever heard them, and that their pain is so deep and it spills over. They need to spill it over onto someone else they feel they can give it to and still feel protected themselves. That may not always be the case, but one of the reasons some do that, I think. Still, the only important thing is to understand that there are reasons they have in their own minds, very good reasons for acting as they do. The envy can come from the same source of not being seen, not being heard. And it hurts. There are many other reasons that we don't have to understand. That is just one. That somehow, I think, what I want you to think about, though, just let that thought sink in, that they must have a good reason for what they do. And that reason we can leave behind. Just understand that everyone who do anything have a good reason for themselves. Seem like a good reason, otherwise they wouldn't do it. So, now I want you to again stop thinking about them and going back to yourself and think about you in this meeting and conversation with others. And I want you to look at yourself from outside and not think about how others would perceive you or how others would want you to be or anything like that. But think about how you would want to be, how you would want to behave, what you would want to see when you look at you. And this is not trying to be perfect in any way. This is just a way of finding tools, finding skills that you already have within to handle these situations in a way so that you can feel good no matter how others behave. So, I want you to see yourself in this last situation with this going on. Think about this a bit, just for a short while. Don't go in deep into it so you get upset. Just remember the situation and think about how you would like to have seen yourself act and react in that situation. And now just breathe with me. Let us all breathe together. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe together with me. Together we're breathing, and with the winds the universe, around the earth, we're calming down together. Just breathe. And still let go of the thoughts again. Once again, just let them go. Sometimes it's just when we let the thoughts go that we realize what we need, how we can resolve the situation. It's a little bit like the same thing as when we sleep on something, then we have the answer when we wake up. So just let go of your thoughts and just breathe. Just follow your breath in and out. And feel that you are connected with everyone else breathing. And now, I want you to move back to your thoughts and listen to your thoughts and formulate your thoughts in your mind. Put words into what you are thinking. And now I want you to keep relaxing so you don't have to say this out loud. But if you want to, you can say it out loud and otherwise remember it so that when this healing hangout will stop, you will then say it out loud. And the next thing to do is to say it to someone, whatever this was that you were thinking and that you were describing, putting words into in your head. Say it to someone. It doesn't have to be of any importance. It doesn't matter what it was. This is just you expressing yourself. You in touch with the core and then letting yourself express it, whatever it is, how random it would ever be, or if it is what feels important, that is good too. Everything is okay. So, maybe you now have found some little guidance to the skill you can use, to one of the skills that you can use to handle these situations in a way that feels good to you. And I also want you to know that we will continue doing these healing hangouts or circles, we could say. And digging up more and more skills that we can use. And you will get stronger and stronger and feel better with yourself and in connection with others, no matter how they react or how they behave. So, I already said that I will do a new healing hangout every month, and it seems to become more often than that. But at least once a month I will do a new one. But you can also go back to these previous ones and do them again and find a new skill that you need. And also feel free to write to me if you want. If you want to share with me. And now I want you to think about this goal or or this ideal situation you thought about to begin with. And I want you to think about a few small steps that you could take, reasonable steps that are not too hard, but that you really could do right now. Can you think about any small steps in that direction that will help this goal become realized? And also decide who of this group of people that support you, decide which one you first will seek help from. Aside from me, that is, if you don't connect with me also after this healing hangout. Which one of those would you pick to connect with first? And then, before this date you set, you will take initiative to contact each one of them, of those people you thought about. You don't need to seek their help, just connect with them to strengthen yourself. And remind yourself that you are supported and that you have a lot of friends and loved ones who love you. Sometimes when we forget it, we also forget to reach out. So just try to do that. And also remember these results you thought about, the concrete results that will show that you succeeded in reaching this goal you strive for. Remember what things you would see if it would have succeeded. And also think about this. How would you know if you didn't succeed, if you didn't reach this goal? What would that be like? What signs, what things would you see that would show you that you didn't reach your goal yet? So you are clear about when you have reached your goal and when you're still on your way there. And if for some reason it would take longer time, or you can change your goal on the way, it's not important to absolutely reach this goal. This is just where we are right now, the goal we have right now. So anything can change, anything can happen, but from where we are right now, it's good to be clear about where you're heading, what you're thinking. So, what would happen if you didn't reach that goal in that set time, at that date? What would you do then? Think about something for yourself that is good for you. It could be connecting with all of these people, some of these people again, and asking for their advice. This first time would just be take initiatives. Maybe next time you then would need to go a step further and tell them, well, I would need your support here or your help with this. can you help me? For example, you decide, but think about something you would do, something loving you would do for yourself, and to help yourself further if you wouldn't reach that goal in that time. It could be something like listen to these healing hangouts more often, or other kind of supports of that sort. It could be anything. Just decide for yourself. And decide as clearly as you can who you would contact or what you would do, what would happen then. Have a plan. So, I'll just repeat this so you remember, and again, in your relaxed state, think about how would you know if this works. And when you look at what has happened at that time, that date when you will check it out, then even if you didn't reach it all the way, then maybe you see that you're well on your way and that it really works, even though it takes a little bit longer time maybe sometimes. So then you maybe just have to do more of what you already are doing, or maybe it's okay that it takes a little bit longer time then. To appreciate the change and the road. It's not just a goal, it's also the process towards it that is important. And see that you are one. We all in humanity and in this world related to all creatures and all elements, we're one, changing together. And see yourself as a part of all this. You are not alone. You are not lonely. And you can use all around you and all within you to change and create the things you want. And you can reach out to those specific people or things that you need to reach these goals that you want. And I want you to again think about specific persons that is a team. It could be as many as in a football team or players in a hockey team. It doesn't matter how many it is, just as long as it is supportive. Doesn't matter how few it is. Even if it's just one other person. Think of you as a team that will work together and try to make that work, that teamwork, to help you reach this goal. And I also want you to reflect on this. Of what you would consider good enough on this date when you will check if you reached this concrete result that you thought about. If you didn't read exactly all the way to that, what would you consider good enough? Maybe you don't ever need to reach to that ideal situation. Maybe you would be as satisfied not really reaching all the way there. So think about that also. What that would be, how that would look. can do this process over again if you feel that you need some more pieces, or you didn't really catch a few pieces you needed this time. You can do it over again so that you get what you need on your way. So this is clear to you, and so that you can use it fully. So, for now, I hope you found a skill to use in this situation and to develop further. And I wish that you can see this process of changing things as you would like, to see it as an adventure in this life, and not as obstacles or struggles, but as a fantastic and fun adventure. Even if you don't feel like that right now, maybe you will someday. Be open to that possibility. And you're welcome back anytime. And as I said, at least once a month, I will do a new healing hangout for us. Probably more often than that. Sometimes it may be specific things like this, a little bit of a more specific topic related to things I've heard or seen around here. And also, if you connect with me and there are specific topics you want me to address, please say so, and we will try to find a way together. So thank you so much for being with me this time, and talk to you soon.